Time to go racing in the quick track Group C and A touring cars. And Gary, these cars are the real deal. They all race during the highly successful period.
Oh, this is like a science fiction movie when worlds collide. We've got Group A, we've got Group C together, and they've both got their backers and they've both got their detractors, but together they're going to put on a tremendous show here.
On board with Terry Ashwood in that glorious sounding HR31. It's an X-Works Nissan Skyline. Have a listen to that. The six-cylinder turbo.
It's one of three, though, in the race. And I mean, this is a credit to Freddie Gibson and the cars they turned out in that era. That they still look at them. It's still in the right livery too.
Oh.
Magnificent.
Frank Binding in the ex-Army Reserve Falcon goes around. Another one too. Brett Madden in the ex-Pine Pack Ford Mustang from New Zealand. On board with Norman Mogg in an ex-Holden Racing Team Commodore.
This is the car that was driven by Wyn Percy and Neil Crompton at Bathurst in '89.
And I think he had the helmet there that Wyn just about wore too. They've all sorted themselves out. This is really fascinating. We've mixed the eras. Group C from 1973 to 1984, and Group A, of course, the formula from 85 through to 92. David Hulk leading the way in the ex-GIO Commodore, but interesting to compare some of these cars that didn't race against one another.
That's right, but I mean, technically, mechanically, yeah, you've got to say, I guess, that Group A was the right decision, but boy, from a purist's point of view, the big bangers, the Group C cars, they were magnificent, and they still are.
It's busy in the middle of the pack, turn 9. On board, the Turtle Wax in-car camera with Terry Ashwood. The HR31s, and this was the forerunner to the dominant Godzilla, the GTR.
Yes, well, that almost killed motor racing. This is the old GIO Hulk. God, it's turned out in magnificent form, and it's going well too.
Yeah, David Hulk behind the wheel. That was Russell Ingall's first ever car at Mount Panorama in 1990, and he shared it with KB, Kevin Bartlett, in Kevin's last Bathurst race.
Kevin the Magnificent. Ashwood again. The Turtle Wax in-car camera. What a magnificent view down the straight here at Eastern Creek.
He's hauling in this Falcon too. And he's going to go straight on by.
Like he was standing still.
Japanese technology wins out. Just up ahead there is the four-door A9X Tirana. That was Bobby Morris's car in 1977 at the Mountain. It's under fire here though. The Nissan down the inside. And the Falcon comes for the ride. A massive mix of cars at Eastern Creek and being driven as if they're really keen, and that's keen. Not the way to do it. Willie Van Wersch, the ex-Ron Wanless Recar Commodore. It's not the best place to park at Eastern Creek.
Look at these other cars zipping through the turn there, and just have a listen to them as they rip around the corners. Eastern Creek is a very, very testing circuit, but these cars, despite their vintage, still handle it well. And here we see the Rare Spares replay sliding into the turn, leaving about 300 weight of rubber on the track.
On board, the quick track in-car camera, Norman Mogg in the HRT Commodore, passed up the inside. That's Craig Markland in another of the X-Works Nissan Skylines. They finished 3rd and 4th in the great race in 1989 at a time when Ford Sierra was dominant, but the Commodore, not a spent force today. Hang on a second.
He had 3 handfuls there, but he did well to recover. And still hanging onto the tail of that Nissan. And that's no mean feat.
TWR VL Commodore. An unloved car there for a few years, Gary, with that radical styling.
Yeah, but I mean, now people would kill for one.
And Norm Mogg is applying some great pressure to Craig Markland. The quick track on board. Eastern Creek, a great circuit to show the real differences between these cars. The 5-litre homegrown V8 Commodore, the 6-cylinder Nissan Skyline, and separated by a car.
Well, these were what the battles at Bathurst were all about in those period of years.
Turn 9. This was the early time of the Holden Racing Team. It was actually run by Larry Perkins at the time, but David Hulk in the ex-GIO Bob Forbes Racing Commodore has absolutely spread-eagled them here. A great drive.
Where would they be at Bathurst if it hadn't been for builders like Bob Forbes in those years? Goodness gracious me, they've left behind some magnificent vehicles.
David Hulk's left behind the field at Eastern Creek today. He's going to cruise across the line to take the quick track Group C and A touring car race. Norm Mogg in the HRT Commodore's been buried among Skylines today, but it's the GIO Commodore that takes the checkered flag.